Sen fans should be rooting on for LEV here because G2 getting wins
LEV
is bad for Sen at the bottom of the table. So all of these kind of things.
Okay, LEV on defense,
Listen, one of the big stories
G2 on
gonna be
attack,
who
and
can
yeah, they
shut down
decide
that
to
fast?
go
Is he
for
just gonna
a...
run rampant? And
Oh my
immediately he
goodness,
goes
this
down.
is
Mazzino
really bold.
baited into making another re-clear play as well, thinking that
That was really, really
G2 would
bold,
probably
and I
leave
guess
that
they
area
didn't
after they got the
see
early
numbers
pick.
with a fast original peak, and that's pretty much the pistol round
basically
done.
wraps
Keep an eye on the
already.
luck.
G2 are going to be able to get in, get the plant, and play a post plant in a 5v3, and LEV, miles away, can connect on some kind of post plant flank as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the latest luck
You couldn't
ever. He's
write a
just
better
in B
beginning for
window.
G2.
No, you really couldn't.
GB was asking the question, what happens if this team gets out to a strong start and slaps down LEV early? Oh, this is looking good at the beginning.
One of the questions I had was that who was going to be shutting down the monster player that is.
Any mollies for this? Here comes the molly. This might be too late.
Hold on.
Yeah, we just stick this. Dude, molly missed as well.
They're getting away with that.
That's a 5v3, and they're inside the Viper orb. What's going on?
What happened there?
Molly's missed.
G2, how have you let that slip?
What a problem with the snake bites?
Yeah.
What occurred?
I mean, they've got.
I just assumed that was wraps. I'm not gonna lie. I assumed that was wraps. It missed.
And that's a molly miss.
Selena missed. Good catch.
I mean, LEV know that they've gotten away with it.
That's unbelievable, to be honest. Yeah, well,
I mean, if Tex was not already talking,
BBL koi game. Please not again.
He's gonna be after that.
Can't
mess
have
up
that.
from G2.
Damn, that is
Let's try the
a
revenge match.
brutal round
Tex
to
versus
lose,
former
man.
teams, but you know, listen, he didn't seem too hot
3v5
on it.
destroys
The overall
up,
narrative,
just
we're trying to
diffuses in their own...
King
Dude, no
definitely
spams
was, and
as
his
well.
team definitely was. You know, Jonah P's managed to go walkabouts through mid, and there's that gap into the play, which Con was unaware of. So he will fall and get punished, and an upgrade acquired for Jonah P, but dropped just like that.
Speaking of players in gaps, while this fight's going on, there's also LEV all the way back into spawn has picked up Mazzino.
What's going on here?
And so hold on about
Yeah, and this is still a 2-on-2, and we're kind of
versus
out in the open. This guy, if he looks to the right, can see him. What's going on here? That's just allowed to walk all the way up.
Brooks player crossed up though. Valen takes the peak. Very much alone here, so it draws it into that 1v2 for Trent.
Recon double
The
shot.
Sheriff, 2-shot dart. Not really planted for him, so he has to just open himself up
I
wide
wanted to
into the
swing as he
angle.
went to shoot the
Nice
dart.
try from G2,
Yeah, I still think the
but
damage
early
down
on
here from
we are
G2 is
actually
not too
seeing
bad
gaps
at all.
in what LEV are going for. The fact that on a pure eco, G2 are able to walk a player, they make it feel like a big A main push. and they're able
Cinnamon,
to
thank
walk
you
a
so
player
much
double door
with the
and
tier
walk a
1.
player up
Appreciate
mid
that.
into
Thank you,
nest.
thank you. If I ever wanted to
Look
time out
at
after
this.
round 1,
Massive gaps in the defensive setup there.
I mean, yeah, but you never would.
So, yes, it doesn't end up with a round win, and yes, somehow we're 2-0 up for LEV, when it really should have been 2-0 for
The thing
G2
is, we would always
based on how the pistol
pre-plan a
round
lot of
began.
our rounds. I've wanted to be like,
we are
guys,
starting
what
to
the
see
heck?
things that we've got to keep track
Like, I'll
of
just,
throughout this game.
whatever I would want to say, I
There
would
could
just
be
do after
holes
the
that
game,
G2 are
like in a
looking to
VOD
exploit.
review, it's fine. You would never would pause
Good
it.
take from Lev.
But yeah, if they don't
Down
stick
that
to the
angle,
plan
push
and it's
G2.
a pistol that we've been
Everyone
doing a
plays
lot of
in
the
there.
time,
Jonah P looking to contain
never
it.
a
They
good
just go
sign.
fast with this one. The reckoning to set themselves
Okay.
up. Even the reveal onto King.
with the win, they
It's gonna be
decide
a
to
bit of a
equal
sitting
this
duck here.
one,
Jonah
so
P
they
can
are just
clean up,
accepting they're going to
surely.
lose this, try and do
Hearing
damage,
multiple
try and make sure that the
footsteps.
loss bonus reset is here, and then try win the next
Many
round.
mollies being forced out already just to try
I'm
and
not
push them
saying
back
they're
away from
accepting
this
the loss
plan.
here,
And
but
this is
they're
going to pull out a little bit of the
kind of
code. There are two players that would
maybe
die to one
expecting
shot of Aspas
instead of
as well.
accepting it.
So there's still going to be this pressure to get the plant down.
Timing to take the fight.
Dude, imagine they
King.
win this and they pick up all the guns.
These rifles are not really doing too much.
Oh my god, they're going to win this
at
and
all.
pick up all the guns.
Swarm the position, they've got them surrounded. There's not a single avenue that's open for him. Jonah P. Got to offset
Oh
and
boy.
contend with
Well, at
way
least he
too
got a
many
kill at the
players
end
there.
here.
3
Double
in a row.
upgrade, and I imagine
Will be a
triple
time.
upgrade,
That's
triple
lovely.
upgrade.
The
Their
utility
money
that
is
came in to
out of
deny the plan for
control.
G2 is
We got
immaculate.
6k.
G2's compositional strength, having
Well,
that code,
that one really
you
paid
should
off.
be able to get the plants down a little easier than running default compositions. But we saw Fragment Grenade coming through, Snake Bites coming through as well. And it's quite reminiscent of the way that LEV were playing their defense on Bind against NRG. Throwing stuff.
Explain loss
at those
bonus
players,
reset? Yeah, so it's just
stopping them from getting into comfortable
this,
spots.
right?
And that's a bonus round conversion.
This goes
Now,
up in
The more
500s.
that LEV run away with this,
Just
the more I'm
these
gonna be
three,
coming back to the
and
fact that
then
G2
no matter when you lose one,
Yeah,
you just go
what a
back to
massive
the
beginning.
default.
That could have potentially been that early utility. Oh, should have maybe set them up for a nice early fight here. Still, it's the rifles that do win
Yeah,
out
and
the day.
Lev decided to change this
So
one
Lev,
up,
that
fight towards
two-player
middle.
advantage
Dude,
now.
they're going to run
G2 are
away with
definitely
this.
gonna be
This is
looking
a
to
crazy good
slink
start.
themselves into
I feel
some
like the
forward
pistol is such a
positions.
demoralizer.
Right behind this high tide, they've cut themselves up onto the left side approach.
Mazzino's picked up the back of it, though. So even if there was a lurk into Nest, they have that trip halls. And then Mazzino's watching for any kind of deep play. So LEV should still feel fairly comfortable. They went for that push into elbow, and we're seeing a couple of teams do this. We saw the other LATAM team go for it as well, where your Cypher and Jet push out together.
So they got a drone to
One
get in
holding
sight.
elbow, while the Jet tries to get on top and get that really nice sight line into mid. And that's an evolution of the play. Prior to this version of the meta, the Jet was just doing it on their own. So you're seeing kind of the interplay between teams. And G2 now driven into the B site.
Got access to it, at least the first.
Yeah, I mean the wall to just make sure they get the plant was really good.
So to be able to get this plant down, the question is how do you deal with this guy right now? Aspas is online with it. Easy pickings, Trent.
Yeah, and they kept their money even better. They managed to pick up 3 rifles, drop the rifle over, buy an outlaw again, arm up, 4 people going down. This guy wanted to die anyway because he wanted to probably get some kind of op.
It's going to be a long time before LEV have to run any kind of eco round.
Yeah.
Even if G2 make a massive comeback. Trent, one away. Oh, yeah, got the Hunter's Fury online with the death.
What do you want to go for?
So they might be able
and
to
then
make
we get
some
the
kind of
op
play.
out.
It's very common to combo the Euroworld with the
Bang
Sober.
an op and he starts 6k.
So if they can get another orb, and this is the play that I'm talking about, this double walk down mid. I think it conditions the attackers into being very scared
It's the
that that
bigger
could be an
outlaw.
option.
Yeah.
And Aspas has barely had to buy anything other than the outlaw so far. He's now going to make the upgrade to the operator, though. So full armor on almost everybody on G2. Not going to save you from Aspas's one-shots again.
Look to do some damage. Look at this early peek into elbow. Will anybody just walk right into him? What an adjustment and a flip. That was a jump
Bro, it
spot
felt like
from
this guy
Icy.
was in the air for ages. How's he hit
On
that?
Icy's extended arm
Yeah,
as well.
it was a
It's
real...
dirty as
It was
well
a
if you're
big
not
jump
anticipating
peak,
it.
but...
Rare that a Jet would really play up here,
No,
but a
it
couple
looked
of
like he
stray
dragged
bullets
him
means
back.
the
That was
Trent
wild.
does
He
have
must have
that
just hit like
level of
a
awareness.
hand or something.
At least they're pushing back and away off that angle, but another first kill going their way.
Despite the fact they're in a 4v5, it's the positioning up here of Leaf who might be able to do something. He's got himself into a very deep position over at Halls.
I mean, they're
And
still
now
watching
G2
it though the whole
coming back
time.
to A.
Drone
They're in
goes
a
to
nice
middle,
spot
checks
to
middle. We
make
get a
an
recon in
A-split
10
work.
seconds.
Leaf
They
still
want to
has
go
2
aggro
cages,
over
2
towards A
cages
because they
off.
don't have any
Open the
vision.
door, put a lot of pressure
They
on
got
these
nothing
players.
to go in here,
Close
just a
here.
wide
No
swing.
way, just a dry swing
Yeah,
and peek for
he
that
is
mid-run
in
into
trouble.
Nation. Set
Not
up with the
anymore, not
utility
after
angle.
that kill.
He still survives.
Leaf
Well,
didn't go
with
for a
that kill, and
cage.
yet Leaf was not able to survive that horse.
Hey, Aspas is everywhere.
Aspas
is everywhere.
Aspas got shot down
Farming
in the
them.
pistol round.
This was
First
nice
death of
though.
the entire map.
Yeah, the 2-person reaction as well. I kind of like it because again they were just out in the open really here, so they decide to push over towards A main, and then I'm worried that they're going to get pinched, but Aspas gets the kill.
Rampant.
This shot's
Yeah, show me this in slow-mo. Is a hand?
Whoa!
Whoa!
No, God. That's an elbow.
And by the way, that's not a wall bang. Don't understand how. Don't ask me.
Yeah, it did look like he dragged him back. It's nuts, bro.
And he's the monster in the server,
That's,
man. He really is.
that
He's
is,
the number one checkpost you got to try and
Go, man.
mark if you are G2. How do you shut this guy down?
In that round 2, LEV went for a wide swing and shallow swing re-clear into A main. It's dry, but it's well coordinated between the 2 players. And that was just to gain more information because they knew
Loyo,
that they lost the Halls
you
info.
won with the prime.
Leaf
Thank you so
also
much for that.
doesn't
Thank you,
cage,
thank
so
you.
Aspas gets that free pick over towards Halls, and suddenly the
Hitbox in this, yeah, it looked a bit odd. I'm not gonna lie.
But then
Unless it was like a
follow-up was so nice
fast
too.
flick, and
They
then we didn't
recon
really see the
flash
flick.
for
But
Aspas to peek in
I
when there
don't
was
know.
only
You'd have
one
to slow
player
it
left
down
alive.
lots.
Lev
Pronounce NG as
have
well
been
with the
doing
prime.
a lot
Thank
of
you for the
these
half a year,
defense
mate.
re-clear strats. It ruined NRG. It absolutely pasted what they brought to the table. Breeze is a tough map to do that kind of stuff. Like,
It is.
Look at the
This
utility
guy's-
that Lev have
he's
to
on
work with.
8K.
If they want to do heavy defense re-clears,
This
it's
money.
nothing like
Could've
the
gone-
Gecko
couldn't have-
breach
I mean, this
comp that they
actually
had
might be
on
the worst
Sunset.
possible start you could ever
And
have.
yet they're
A
still
3v5
finding opportunities
demoralizer.
to do that kind of stuff with what's
You lose
available to them.
3v5,
Even throwing
and
in
then
the dry
they
re-clear
all
of
decide
A
to
main.
save money, even though they
Well,
won.
that's a
And then
scary
they
team
won the
if they've
round
got
and
the
got loads of
confidence to go for
upgrades.
that kind of stuff.
Can't get much worse than that.
Constantly being
We have an
creative,
eco, we've got the
inventive
double
on the fly
ults, but
in
hopefully
these
we don't
rounds.
see it into this round, and it's just all for
Making
next round.
G2
They
feel
decide to go
comfortable to set up
fast
for it.
here,
Look at that,
and he still gets
speaking about
that.
the comfortability, Aspas, this guy is lighting up the server.
Yeah, and King's just in charge of holding down towards A as they try and take a timing.
Up behind the cascade.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to
And he's
ever worry about
bang
them
on.
on site because King's got his back.
Sending the G2 players scattering.
And I was talking earlier about G2's possibility
What can
of
you
syncing
do,
up
man?
ultimates.
What can you do?
It's
This
really
guy
common
is...
to
How
have
many kills is he
Yoru
on?
into the
I didn't even
Sova,
check after
because you basically
the
just
round
Sova
prior
out
to
your
this.
Yoru while they run
Going for
next
the
to
new
people.
record.
Another
Dude, it's
big
not gonna
combo
last
with
enough
the
rounds.
Sova ult is the reckoning into
Shot.
the Sova ult. And Valen's death there will get him slightly closer, but he's still pretty far away from getting that one on.
Look at this
And there's
guy,
no
man.
sale in these positions.
Damn, look at
They are
him.
so damn
Holy.
sharp today. Lev not
You
missing a
gotta
beat.
be a little bit scared
They
at the
are looking
moment. They are
like
getting
the scariest
annihilated.
team in America.
Yeah.
We got
They
4
really are.
people
They're
that
the
hit the
team to beat.
9K mark. We're on round
Keeps
7.
going back to that pistol round, Josh.
Yeah.
You two are going to be kicking themselves
Patsy
for
_
it.
19, thank you so much for the
Back
prime.
all the way-
Thank
I
you
mean,
for
at
doing
the
that.
beginning of the round, but that's the only
Welcome into the Slug Club,
where
appreciate you.
Leviathan have looked like they've slipped up.
Yeah.
And they've tripped up, but... Yeah,
And they
since then,
just stuck the diffuse
they
and
just
won
stick the
anyway.
fuse and win anyway.
So G2
12 and
need
2.
to manufacture
Where's the op
themselves
now?
a way of using these ults to gain themselves around. They're going to go for
Aggro
this fake
cam
play up
into
balls.
cage.
Actually, the gate crash here is committal, so it's going to be a real...
Pretty nice. Does
Take
this
of
actually
balls.
go and hit the trip?
I
That's
see
a
somewhat
sick way of
connected. You'd
finding out the
imagine he's
trips
gonna
there.
use his ult to
And then do they then
disengage.
shock on top of it or not?
Did he
Oh.
crash?
Dimensional drift
Oh,
forwards
goes
here,
in.
somewhere.
Aspas over towards
The
short.
other side of
Finally
the map,
goes
that's
down.
Aspas
12 to
actually
3.
going down into elbow. He's
And
spotting out
sure.
few of these stragglers who are
They're
seeking
just
to
following.
defend now this B side, but it is easy access for them, or at least it should be in theory.
Yeah, Savior just shooting this trip here.
A little
And this is a pretty
confusing
nice
on
round
Icy's
though. You would
ult
imagine
path.
this is the one.
But it's got G2
Trent has
deciding they're
ult,
going
Jonah
to
P has ult.
Yeah, pit down,
Yeah.
tag onto the backside player, shock darts, rebounding. Sending in that long
Problem
range
with the
artillery,
Viper
but
here is they
Zeno
get a
eager to
lot
not
of
make
space, as
any
you can
noise,
see.
just waiting for the rest of his team, trying to play inside this pit, and that flank attempt, well, it does pay off. Tex taking out Valen, they still have to deal with
Oh,
a lot
flash
of
into the
obstacles
recon.
are
Oh
here,
my god,
but
this team's
lights
pretty
them all up
legit,
towards the
man.
back of the site. Leaf is doing dirty work here all around the map and the site. Struggling, contending. How will have turning this? Jonah P.
Not again.
Last one left inside the pit, but this time the molly is correct on the course.
Yeah,
And a
nicely
spray down
handled
as
in
well,
the end.
anticipating that
Well,
fight. That's a Red
it's the
Bull
worst
clutch.
possible round they can
And a
win.
wonderful turning point for G2.
We got
They needed that round on the board.
4 people dying.
That was a must-win.
Yeah,
especially
4
when he
people
got into that
dying.
1v2 scenario.
1,900 loss
Jonah played it
bonus
well.
if they lose this.
Hitting the
It's
snake bite this time.
looking
The
like
turning
one of
point
those
in the round, though,
games.
was Aspas getting punished, so let's see how that happened.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
just going for the setup. They'd heard a lot coming up holes, so Aspas felt like he was safe to go for a peak like that. And that's the power of the Yoru. You have the Yoru and the clone running up holes. It makes you feel like there's way more players over there.
Yeah.
Hey, what though? It's still pretty impressive for the
It
stuff
was
that
a
I
little
saw
weird
from
the way
Lev.
that
It's
Icy was
nice.
ulting from holes to be. But listen, they get the job done. Aspas with an early peak. Never got
2 people that are fully wrecked in terms of their money. And 2 do great to avoid the ult.
That's a rarity.
And Lev have a good idea of just how much this round means. That's why we're insta-popping all the ults, right? We get Viper ult with the trip behind, we get instant Sova ult. Once they realize that people are over towards A main, we would imagine that Trent wants to do the same thing.
Mid. They've got the trip tunnel, pit B, and good info A. So it's really only in mid that they're missing info. So it might not incentivize them to go for some kind of reclear strategy just yet.
Yeah, and we've got a note again. If you want to check that corner, in terms of this one, you got to go to this area that he does to do it.
Aspas.
To see that they know that, and they're not just
Biding his
wasting the
time,
drone and
waiting
someone could potentially be
for
there. They're
time
actually
to
clearing the
pounce,
full
online
area in terms of the tube. Knife
Knife
goes middle, hits 2. Wait, that's a lot of info.
Spray of bullets. But this is very slow by G2.
They're trying to bait out Lev into going for some kind of push.
Yeah, and I'm
goes.
just going to highlight Tom's
Nova
recon
impressed here
because
with
that
the
might
drone.
be the one on
Through,
this.
Getting the one tag, not spotting Aspas, but now they're calling him out.
Recon
Kills
goes
gonna
in,
be able
that
to get
stops
here,
them
though,
from
with deep
pushing
darts
out.
over and away. Clone dodged, juked with the cages, really just making this one hard to collect any sort of kills, but they are
Pops
flooding in the
knives
direction
on
of
sight,
Lev
and
now.
Aspas
Trap
has done pretty
dodging
good.
away and avoiding. What is that adjustment?
Oh my god,
Aspas right now will
he's
not
just
be
running at them.
denied.
Off the
This
dash as
guy
well.
just flexing on
Holy,
them.
nicely done. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we're here again?
Delivering the 7-1 to
It's
G2.
every single game today.
It's so ridiculous what he's able to do. But G2 there, very clear game plan, trying to bait out defensive aggression from
Sean
the
NG,
But the
thank you so much for that,
problem
man.
with the strategy was they
Appreciate
didn't
the
actually have enough
YouTube
map
membership.
control.
Welcome into the
You
Slug
have to
Club, mate.
take
Thanks for
away
doing that, dude.
parts of the map to
Appreciate you, bro.
incentivize Lev to go and look for information. The
Even the
only part of
YouTube
map
chat right, and you
that
just
G2 were threatening presence in was mid.
Yeah.
And even then, the trip was still up towards tunnel, and there was a player watching vent. Watching
guy, man.
Nest, sorry.
poor guy. This is pretty impressive from Lev
If
though. I'm
that's your
seeing a lot of
strategy
good
to try
stuff.
to bait out defensive aggression and punish it, you've got to do more with your default.
Cage triggered.
This time everybody coming knocking though onto Texas site, the high tide
And
again.
the same wall that they use on their
Prior, so it's
ecos
gonna
just
get
to
them
make
that
sure that they
easy
can
plan,
ensure a
which won't
plant
be
and get
denied.
close and just separate half of the site. Timing on that was very nice for Icy, and Tex.
Good timing, aggressive with it, but Texas right there behind.
He's doing great here. Took a bit of a timing. Mollies are already out.
Making sure work at these
1v4.
G2 players. You can send all the lineups in the world, Larry, but it's not going to be working out. There's far too much time on the clock, but that's a good one to find here still. Molly should land, but they know exactly where he is, and with him cleaned up, yeah, Jonah
He handled
will not be able to win this one.
another
So just a
eco
bit
on
of
this
extra
one, and
pocket
do they want a
change with that
timeout
plan
at
down.
8-1?
Lever just in more than firm
Maybe.
control, man. This is domination.
It is. And we're getting dominant rifle rounds into then G2 looking, you know, they're just kind of throwing it out there when they have an eco. It's got to feel like a good round for Tex to have, though. He gets that rifle advantage, and he's able to bully his former team in back of sight.
How many times has Des been pinged? Dude, it's going to be my
on the opposite side of the map.
You know when you do that Twitch summary and it says like your most used emote.
Offer openings in the round.
Wait, dude, surely we should make an
really
emote
been
for
able
him.
to provide Valen those mid-round
Actually,
opportunities.
Des, do you want an emote for this?
All right,
I don't even know what to do, man. How do we make this
It will
situation better
ruin
for
if
you?
try to anchor B against that.
And they will be knocking on the
No,
doors.
we don't want the emote. Okay,
Tex to try and push this one back.
it's my bad.
Look, he's so far offside.
Position. Yeah, he's just way out of dodge here. I mean, he's been
I'm
playing
trying
this
to work
backside
out how to make it
position
nicer,
pretty
dude. I
frequently.
don't know what to do.
Clone sent in. Along
Every
with
other
Darts,
game.
gonna clear out most of the side with
Every
a
other
Kobe
map
to
at this
choke, but they
point.
have to wait out those mollies. And I mean, Lev have already
Okay,
followed these
all the way
Sankis. Guess
over
what? They've already
towards site,
rotated
but this is
into
fine because
position.
Lev played to
Either for a
retake
flood
site
defense, or
anyway.
now they can just send
They
it
have
down,
the
but they're gonna
retake
let
wall
Icy
once
get
this wall
this
goes
plant
down,
off
and
for
they can
now.
just
Gate
separate
crash.
the
Back to safety now into this post plant
separate
here.
the site in half,
King.
and it looks like they're on
In
top
the
of this
corner,
guy.
aware that Leaf is already just going to be playing tucked into it. He doesn't actually have any util or Snakebite to clear it. Hunter's Fury forwards. Leaf.
There's a
finds
nice
some
swing
first
once he was
fight.
dodging
Hunter's
this.
Fury is
So
on his
great.
place.
Oh,
They
he did a
cannot
lot
stand
of
their ground and
damage.
shoot
I'm going
back
behind.
left. Putting it difficult now. Snared
Oh.
up into the sides. Aspas.
They come
seeking
decided
that
against him. He's
rifle.
back with him.
Pressing forwards now to 2v2, and they know exactly where Valen is.
Oh.
Dashing forwards, dart rebounding. It's absolute chaos here. But
It
what can
really
Aspas do
is
against
chaos,
it?
man. Okay, nicely done from
And in
G2 on
that
this.
particular
And they
moment,
win a round,
8-2,
but this time
G2,
2 of them are
the
alive.
second
But
round on
3
the
people
board.
still died, so it will be the
really
same
like the idea
similar
that if
situation
the
if
Reckoning
this
finds
happens.
no pulses,
And last round,
they
3
save
people will
this
be
overall
absolutely
for the
wrecked
post
money-wise.
I think that's very
G2,
well
if they
played
want
by
any
G2
kind of
with their
chance,
ultimates.
gotta win
But
this one.
They had the opportunity
good
to
chance
use
in the
these
last
kind of combos way earlier in the half to try to make this an even one. And at best case scenario, it's going to be an 8-4, even if G2 win the next couple. They're finding their footing, but it might be too little too late. They've got Icy's ult to build around.
Ian
Again, another
D.
one that
Barn
could be
Owl.
extremely
Thank you so
useful.
much, man. Appreciate the
They're gonna
primes.
start working their way up mid.
Welcome into the slug club, Ian.
But he's not here this time.
Thank you very much,
Icy
mate.
just using the gate crash to get a little bit deeper into these angles. Dimensional drift. Just spot out and clear out almost the entirety of this side.
Yeah, I
In
mean,
fact,
that's a
yeah.
free site, but this is Lev again, just preparing for this ult, prepping for this ult, and they're fine
One
to,
of the
well,
problems with
they at
Leviathan's
least
retake
plan
in the
to
previous
retake.
rounds was they didn't have people flanking.
That's a
That
spike,
angle
yeah,
is
this
filthy.
angle is
He's right
lovely.
over the top of the high tide, so they assumed it
Yeah,
was a safe plan.
and this
Not the
changes a
case.
lot of
Flash
stuff, right? They
through
now
Icy
need
in
to
the
go
back,
for
but
a
it's
different plant
anti-flash
spot,
dodge.
so potentially the mollies are going to
So, you
miss,
know,
even though they missed anyway.
far too
The
clean with
original
the
plant spot, but
reflexes.
we'll ignore that. Gonna keep an eye on them. See when the mollies come out.
An awful lot of lifting here to try and make this one winnable. Such a large disadvantage.
Molly's coming in
That
now.
time is being bled off the clock.
Mollies?
They're losing out
Yeah,
these
mollies have
duels,
missed
and the
again.
lineup's Still going to be played
Ed's
from
gonna
afar
insta-stick
already.
it.
Messias
It's the mollies have missed
gets
again.
his half, and it doesn't even matter.
Oh, the
No
second
more
one hit.
players will be dropping. They're just fully aware of the game
Actually,
plans that are being played
say
here by
that.
G2.
The
There's
Snakebite
there's
also
an
missed
area.
again. So
There's an
even
area to
if that
defuse.
had been
Yeah,
something,
but this was because
they're
this one wasn't
clearly
as bad
missing
because this
some
was because of the
coordination between
original
plant
shot, right? The
positions and
original
lineups. It was a
original
different
shot
lineup
came in
position,
and stopped
not
the
that
plant
standard.
spot that
We
it's meant to
normally
be.
see people running the
That one's
lineups
not
from
as bad
outside cave. This one was
for
more
Jonah,
towards mid.
but still not looking great.
But frankly, that's like a side note. It's not really what
Whoa.
won the round.
Joking.
Wow, lovely.
Just as the
Gnas
plan
as
was
well,
about to
thank
be
you so
covered
much.
by
Thank you for the prime, thank you for
the
the whole
cage as
year.
well.
Appreciate the whole year.
They're running
Thanks
a
for
double
all the
smoke
support.
with the
Thanks for the
Cypher.
prime.
They have a lot of tools to be able to disguise where the plant position is, and yet it's not quite getting there. And now G2 come into round 12.
They get
with a bad buy.
wrecked, right? Here are the 3 people that in theory couldn't buy. Arbor has no util.
Not being faked out there by the clone, but
They decide to go aggro when you can have a good buy. Oh, it's for the info for the ult. That's a nice round.
all sorts of kills to Cove, making it difficult, but well, the Cove will not
Yeah,
withstand that
and
kind of pressure.
the aggression didn't make
Organizing
too
on
much
this
sense
is
until we
just
see that ult, and they
ripping
just
them
wanted to get info
shreds.
of it.
Tex is
And
such an
yeah, this was
in this game. He's
the
running
clinical
around,
half. This was
snapping
solid.
up the players of G2.
And it all came down to the pistol.
See
You
if
give
they set him
G2
up for the
pistol
next
here,
one.
I wonder what on
Can
earth
he
the
drive
score
the
would have
dagger
been.
into the heart of his former team?
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Yeah,
It
but
was
that's, I
Cobb
mean, that's on them,
eventually
man. They
that
lost the
puts Jonah P
3v5.
down. A 10-2 half. Terrifyingly good from Lev.
I mean, that was fast as well. There weren't much slow play being played.
Oh, this is speedrun time.
We have speedrun this. I mean, I don't know when
Yeah,
we started
the whole
casting, but
the
that's,
week has been speedruns.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the fastest one that we've had so far was G2 themselves playing against Furia. 13-3, 13-3. So beating the speedrun
Furia.
record here for Lev.
Hicks_1 with the prime as well. Thank you so much for the prime usage, mate.
Someone in Salt will be making a video
Welcome
about
into
it.
Slug Club, bro. Appreciate that.
category up in speedrun.com.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, what an absolute blistering pace. Send it over to the analyst desk to break it down so far.
Thank you so much, fellas.
Another example of the pistol mania that we're talking about.
Okay, that's what we're seeing. Only in the streets is it called that. But honestly, real talk though, it all started in the first round. Yeah. Literally, it was just round 1 and then that.
It was like 2 mess ups though, right? Pistol rounds into third rounds.
Like it was just a massive blunder from
You can't do
G2
that.
in the pistol where they started out.
Yeah,
they go
you
up
can't
into
do that
a
'cause you're just
5-on-3
gonna find out
situation, but they've got
why
2
you can't do
players
it by
late
losing like
rewrapping
this.
and 3 players playing off site. So it's just a full stick waiting for mollies to come in. It was just a disaster in a space where it absolutely shouldn't have been. And then Lev get this bonus round as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lev in this one,
and
I
they're
mean, credit to
highlighting
them.
the
They
right
did a
rounds.
good job
Nice.
of getting some stall util, forcing that planter off. But consistently, that util was pushing the G2 planter off, and then they were going for these fights into backside to try and buy themselves some space. But when we saw these late round fights, it was generally uncoordinated, right? One player swinging ahead, getting punished by a sheriff, getting punished by Ospas, and I feel like that was a story that repeated throughout this half.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Lev made G2 struggle with their utils, struggle with their comms. Like a lot of the util they were using didn't really make sense for how the round was playing out. It felt like they didn't understand the timings that Lev was kind of taking as well, kind of putting a wrench into all of their game plans. They couldn't hold down sides. It should have started as a 3-0,
This start is
but
savage.
It felt like they just
All
started
losing teams
that
today, their
momentum.
rounds
And
put
because
together
they
wouldn't
lost
even
those
have won
critical
2
swing
games.
rounds, then in round
Won
5,
2
we
maps
have
or 2
Ospas
games?
with the first op for the first time.
Maps,
Lev
right?
win that. So then it's an eco round. So we go into the situation where every other
we
round for
have,
G2
we
is
have
an eco.
stomps.
You're never going to win a game like that.
On top of that, we're seeing these hard walls.
Then Nilzino decides to speak after that one. He takes his moment.
They were constantly ahead
Oh,
of
Neil, how we doing,
and they're
man?
in a winning
Congrats
position.
today.
Yeah, well now we're in a position.
You must have
as
been
you said,
laughing
Mimi, where
at some of the
Leviathan
sunset
could very
stuff.
well close this out
Just running your
quite
fast
quickly, and you
day,
might be
6 or
talking
7
about
rounds in a
pretty
row.
soon. So we're gonna send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
Might have even been 8.
I prompted a question near the beginning of this game, you know, who is going to be shutting down Aspas?
I was earlier, but I ignored you. That's not bad.
So far, no one's really stepping up to the challenge. He's made this map look like his playground. Jumping around all over the place.
I think that's what makes this map pool so
Sometimes I
damn
gotta pay
scary.
attention to the game. Sometimes it's not all about you, Neil, alright?
You've just got
That's what I gotta
Aspas
say to
running
that.
around on Breeze and Icebox here in the first 2. How on earth are you going to stop that?
Who's
Okay,
gonna
they
step
gotta
up
win a
to the
pistol.
challenge?
They gotta
Even
win a
when they do
pistol.
bring him down, it just seems like divine intervention that Lev still end up
I was
winning
watching
those
clips of
rounds.
myself.
G2 with 2 players towards
Ooh.
double door. Third Lev
Oh,
pathing
that's
that way
not
at the
great.
beginning.
After I flamed
And
you.
now, as things go silent, they're looking to go and re-explore. Valen and Jonah P here know
That
that there
doesn't
is
look good.
nobody in mid, but where have Lev gone? Is it
That really
towards
doesn't
the
look good.
Cypher
Well-
that's in the halls, or the opposite direction?
They've lost a lot of control over towards B main as well, so there is that uncertainty. That's why G2 are making their way over towards B, just in case. I see. Good kill to collect. Text the lurking player down towards halls, but now pretty aware of the fact that this is going to be an A plant. Deep dart. Lev
Big
be
Joe.
using that to take that
Bomb.
backside control. Con could definitely get caught here by this fast flank occurring
they jumped
right
it.
behind him. Yes.
Oh, no, he's dead.
Was unaware
Okay.
of the fact
Holy
here, and
hell.
he is going to be squeezed from every single
gonna say,
position
what's
and
going on
angle.
there?
I mean, with the classic, how
Wait.
much work is this guy doing?
Oh my god.
The dodge and Duke can duck away from these shot darts up onto the ropes. Jonah P
Okay,
does win that
3v5
fight
again,
out.
don't do
This is
it.
a great start for G2. With advantages to be found, and they
3v5,
are
you guys
making it
got
nice
this, right?
and clean. Aspas.
Last player
Easy
Last one
round.
now. Try and push them all back here. Only 5 more bullets left, and there's no easy shots, no easy targets. Valen now sticking that defuse, and guess what? Not planned it for him, but the code in place. It's a pistol round, wrapped
there
up
we
nice
go,
and
one
pretty
each.
there from
It's
G2,
their turn.
with some really, really
See what they
elegant
got.
ideas of what they wanted to do in the mid-round.
They certainly didn't have a great idea of where LEV were going, but it didn't matter. Because when G2 double up at double doors and then re-clear mid, no matter whether you plant on A or B, they're getting fast flank retakes off. And the cherry on top of that was that when Tex went down, the trip is disabled. So they then get a good flank onto Cobb.
Let's go, boys. Go. Simple, simple.
Starts with 1.
Does start with
Does
one.
start with 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
You need one at a time, but you need many of them.
Sometimes I feel like me and Sideshow are
got the right
turning into the same
mentality.
person. I'm not sure if that's
They're going to
great.
even make that a possibility.
Jonah P getting hit by the knife there. If that happens on rifle rounds, it will open up a little bit of an avenue for LEV.
Wow.
Good awareness. What a sick off angle for
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just
it's
thinking
nice.
that. Just anticipating the lurk up. Fast
Insta
on the
group
play by
over
Aspas
towards
with him
B.
shut down.
Right.
A lot of the danger of the eco round does go away.
He will leave Scott. He's got a
Look
camera
now.
to early spot, so rotate
Looking
could
over
come in.
towards
We've got
this
no
B
fast
side.
rotate for
Mendocino,
the
We're
Yoru.
going to be waiting for the knife cooldown.
Oh.
Leaf
There is a small
get
chance
tagged
for
up by it.
they beat the rotate
Oh,
here.
it might even go down to a few stray shots here. It's a setup that's going to be pushing them back in a way. LEV are really quite keen and eager to try and get themselves into the site, but now different direction. Pivot out towards Albo.
They're going to know where Valen's positioned. That's one of the weaknesses, I suppose, of running the harbor, is that you always give away where you are every time you use that high tide or cascade. But this round is more to do with feeling out what G2 are doing on the defense. It's not like LEV.
And they just cut sound like they could be
really
going
coming
all the
in
way
here
back, hoping that the
expecting to win.
rotate's gone. And we have the Yoru
You think
TP
about the
here,
way that
and
G2's
Yoru must be
combo's gonna work
tempted
on
once
defense.
they
They
see
don't
some
have the
contact.
jet. So if Icy does try to go aggressive, it should be a little more readable, a little less easy for him to
Oh, it
escape.
just faded.
Here comes LEV.
Now, yeah, straight through. And the classics
One enemy
doing a
remains.
decent amount of work here, but trips.
Nice, easy
no one
clean up
stepping
on
over
this
the
one.
boundary. That was that B site.
And let's see if we got any
So
light
my point
armors.
being that when you have that solo Yoru duelist,
Okay, nothing.
I think what the desk was talking about after Ethan's interview, remember Ethan plays Yoru on this map and has played Yoru.
My
at an
wardrobe
astoundingly good level on multiple
75%
maps.
black
But Ethan
t-shirts.
always
I
plays
would
it
say
with another
you
jet
could
player.
even up that
I
to
think it
80,
changes things
honestly.
drastically for Icy being the only duelist,
One
because
enemy
instead of
remaining.
being able to play supportively,
There could be a
he actually
strong
has to be the tip
80.
of the spear.
Yeah,
If you
I
wanted
agree.
to do any of these
There's not much color in there,
defensive
dude.
pushes.
Not
Agree
the
completely.
biggest
So it's
color
kind of got to
fan.
be all in from G2. And look over towards B right now. They are doing one of those all-in pushes.
Yeah, just trying to make it
We
sure
absolutely
they can
send
punish
this.
here onto Texas. Only job really is to just stay alive and contain and call this one out, but with the high tide, it's misinformation thrown into the mix, especially with the clone. He's going to think there's potentially more footsteps, more bodies there than before.
It's quite cool to get Leaf into such a deep position.
Not only that as well,
It's-
I think they were just
it's-
trying to make
it's
Lev
kinda
rush into a
sick,
decision,
yeah.
potentially
Yeah.
to rush into the A side.
And if you
I
react
mean, there's
into
a
A, that's
lot
where
of
Icy
early
has the
info
gate
for this.
back.
And it's
Well
weird
thought
because
out.
it's like, if
Do
you
they
kill this
think
guy, would you
about
really
Leaf? This
expect
is
this
where
guy
the high
here?
tide was pointing.
Okay, so they kill this guy. I
Nice
mean, do they
awareness.
really
Yeah,
think that
great awareness from
Valen would
Tex,
be
knowing
here?
that that was a slight gap. Had to be re-cleared here. Now Lev can make their moves all the way over. Valen, though, Outlaw in hand. 2 shots will do it. Volleys have to be dodged and juked and avoided and evaded.
He honestly did not too
But not the
bad.
bullets.
Whoa!
Tex is just
Nice
lighting
shot,
them
bro.
up right now. What a takeover and around. Subtle with
He's
it.
sending it. Oh
It's
man,
one
he
way
wants
now from
this.
the
20
ace.
to 7, bro. He
Looks like we
is
haven't seen too many
farming
of them,
them.
to be honest, in the
Yeah, and
Super
it's
Week, but-
personal.
This is one of those aces where you get the 4 kills very
Hey, just let him have it.
impressively,
At
and the
least
rest
let
of
him.
your team
At least
tries
let
to
him
help
try
you
for it.
hunt down the final
They
one.
know where
Jonah
it is,
P's
Jonah.
mollying, so he can't
Shots.
get it.
Landing. That is denied. Aspas just
Aspas.
stealing it away.
Aspas, I mean, Aspas gave him a shot, bro.
Texted
He
such
took a shot. It
great
didn't hit.
shot, but getting
That's
four.
all you get.
He's playing against his former team. He's got 20
20 to 7,
kills
19 to 6.
across 15 rounds. He's overtaken Aspas. Maybe that was the reason that Aspas stole the ace at the end.
Yeah, it could have been.
He needs the kills.
He's like, all right, get down.
Yeah.
Get down.
I'm the one playing for the stats. But that is insane. Yeah, I mean, just feeling just empowered.
Yeah, that's him there saying,
I
dude, you
swear
missed your
Texas
shot.
got most of these kills as well. When G2 are on eco buys
Had your
or
shot,
light
you
away.
missed it.
Round
Mike
15
Gill.
again, it's like an
Okay,
anti-bonus.
big round for
and he
G2. This
runs
is
him
pretty much
over.
it. And we got a
Comes out
Marshall.
for IC. And it's got a very long sight line to look down with the Marshall here, while Lever exploring into mid. Drone used for some of that information.
heavy emphasis towards mid here. You can see the G2 playing it somewhat similar to the pistol round. This is what their setup was. Val and Jonah P,
the smoke goes down.
when they heard this movement away, they started walking into mid. And you're seeing a similar thing
they got a good
happening
timing on
right
this one.
now. They're walking forwards as Leviathan start to take A main. And this puts G2 in a position where the retake
He really is telling
comes
his
from
feet, man.
many
There's
different
arrows now.
Now, the difference was on the pistol, Tex
Big
also
Joe.
went down, so that trip was disabled.
Spot on the shoulder. Tex wins that fight. No left immediately to Valen.
Wait.
What a response from him. I mean, just 3 kills.
Yeah, and
toppled
this is
like
the
that
push
into
down
the main,
mid.
executing.
And he
We
managed to
talked about
free
it. It
tap
was the
in the
difference
side.
maker last time. The double swing is lovely
Bro,
with the
they're taking
coordination.
turns. He wants
All
to ace
caught
now.
to perfection and rinse and repeat, I suppose.
It's a lovely molly.
Mazzino,
No opening of the door yet,
an
so he
ace on the
kind
cards here for
of
Valen.
bit of
Wall's still up.
space.
He can back away, and he does have the spike. With only 17 seconds to utilize
Let's
it.
go for a plant.
Running short and shy of the time. So Mazzino sticking the plan. Valen gets a bit of a run on, and there's the kill.
Nicely done.
Okay.
Solid rounds. And a good push over towards middle. Double hold for the smoke in
Valen's
case
gotta
they
be
push
feeling
through it,
decent
and
about
then
that one, but
they
they're still
maybe
so
hear them
far
run away.
behind.
Not
It's
entirely
not
sure.
time to celebrate just yet.
And then just started walking behind with the double.
I think it's slightly worrying as well that they've only got one strategy that's working so far, which is this defense setup where Valen and Jonah P push down mid. Now, it's great that it's working, but it's such a single-minded idea on your defense that I think LEV are going to read into it real quick. It's a little confusing. They haven't got the idea about it,
What are you buying?
even at this point, when it came out on the pistol round.
Yeah, they
But
buy up into it, and no matter what,
would
someone's
imagine
going next.
the brains inside Leviathan will be able to figure out what's going on, because it's whenever they go towards
Thing
mid
takes
and
a
then
bit
run
of a
away,
hit. That's a sheriff
when
into
they're
this
getting
one.
caught in the back. I think it's pretty easy to put 2 and 2
Do
together.
they want a KO ult?
Different defense
We
setup
do have
here
a
for
KO,
G2, not going for that
anti-KO
same kind of
setup.
play. The
Heavy
reckoning
stack
is
over
good to
towards
try
A.
to stop these
And
side hits from
then
coming through.
the Cypher.
And let
Bro,
it go
look
for
at the
an ace split.
Cypher. Everyone's rotated here, all 5.
Waves emanating out now. It's gonna be
You two have
catching
a
all the
lot
players
of
towards the
people
back of
here.
the site and more. Jonah P. He's feeling that squeeze. Valen to the side, playing that
Oh.
anti-flash through the cage as well. Many targets
trip,
to deal
the
with. He is
aggro
being
trip, but no one's
overwhelmed here.
reacted,
Jonah P
right?
just can't provide that supportive fire, but the rest of G2 still alive and kicking into the 2v2. Aspas wasn't dropped in the midst of this one, and now he's going to be re-exploring up towards the stairs. Trying to take a good fight as well, but doesn't overstay it. Dart doesn't get broken in time. Aspas playing out of the position. Trent, what a fight to take. Got the confidence back with that one.
A really good reposition from him.
Would have to be ridiculous from him. And the fight to be an isolated one-on-one.
That's a really good reposition once again from him.
Shock dart, rebounds away, getting the info, getting the knowledge, the jump spot, an additional confirmation, and Com running round and round.
Okay, nicely done from Trent.
Way
Little
ahead of
fake
it.
footstep, then walk back right.
What a round from Trent there. He gave away his position with the recon dart.
Every single time
and
they're
allowed
almost
Lev
trying to get
know
like
where
2-person
both players
flanking.
were. Just
Pretty cool.
swung out on his own
There's
without
a
Leaf's backup.
heavy over rotate from them,
Deletes
but
both of the players he was taking fights against.
I guess once you hear the ult, you know they're sending it.
I guess sometimes when you get outclassed as a team, you have to take matters into your own hands, and that's what Trent did here. Look at that anticipation. So
Yeah, I
good.
mean, he's so aware in the clutch there of where Com is going to be playing.
And for the first time, LEV are going to get knocked down onto an eco round. And this also prompts the TAC timeout. Some time here for the coaches to come in and probably talk about the strat that was used in round 13, round 16. So that can be a small adjustment. But also, potentially, LEV looking to try some other stuff out.
Burst snowball,
I think,
yeah.
to be honest with you, LEV's
One's been a little bit
attack side
closer though.
calling in that round, the split through A, I think it was all sensible. They didn't quite have the most coordinated peek out through the cage. They double underhand dashed, but the dash from Aspas was under yellow instead of on top of yellow, and that meant that they couldn't
nice early
coordinate the double
timeout.
peek out through the cage.
Give them that.
Small details like
He's
that,
an eco.
you just tweak them a little bit, and the rounds will be even more going towards LEV, I think.
Let's see if they do make those adjustments here, because right now G2 are, stringing together quite a substantial amount of rounds. Money as well is just piling up, and the ultimates.
And that ult combo still exists, the Reckoning into the Hunter's Fury, which is massive, especially, I think, on B post plants, where you have those players.
Yeah, Aspas buys heavy armor into it, has his ult. Everyone else gets a Sheriff, light armor apart from Mazzino. Obviously not.
A
enough
win
money.
here for LEV in this round looks like pulling out some of those defense side ults.
Repel them.
That's what they'll probably be looking towards.
Listen, it also
Yeah, I
might
mean,
look
it's a
like
similar
Aspas
story
killing
to the
5
first
with
half,
Blade.
really. Just one round,
But I
win the
think
next.
Always on the cards.
Set the expectations reasonable.
Yeah. But you never know with Aspas.
Oh, I like this. It's like some of the. It's the same thing. We've been seeing this a lot recently, where it's like heavy aggro sound, and then the person just walks up. Right? It's similar to what you see on Ascent. I call it a BBL.
With the Blade Storm.
And we saw it on another map earlier, but this is a cool idea. There's a lot of guns down on site. But yeah, it's just make it look like an A rush, but someone sneaks through middle.
The plan down as well.
Big duel at spawn here, and it feels like
Feeling
Leaf heard
worried about
one.
it. Yep, this flank
But
potentially
he can at
being
least
heard
give the
here by
info if he
Leaf
did hear it.
reckoning. Used to take this space up and scale quite fast onto the approach. King has already caught himself a kill.
Wow.
Already with that rifle that
King's
has
just
been done,
dueling
and only
everyone
just
on
being
site,
dealt
and
with
Leaf has his
in the
ult at
main
least.
angle. They know where Leaf is now at a position. And time ticking away. Despite being planted. Leaf is getting a move on here. He's not really being shy about it, not really obfuscating any sense of his positioning.
Okay,
Just
nicely
not ready
done.
to collect
Yeah,
that
cool
kill, so it's a
strat. Make it look
thrifty
like an
win for
A
Lev.
rush. Everyone
You talk
focuses
about
on
best
A
case
site
scenario
over
level, what you're
towards B
expecting.
main. Sorry, A
Can't
main,
win
because
in the
obviously it
round.
looks like a rush, and then
Exactly.
just sneak
That's
up
the thing
close.
with this team.
Same
They're just
thing
so
as the
good.
Ascent.
I love that eco
I mean, it's
round
literally an
strategy,
all round
though.
as well,
And to
which it
explain what's going on
originally
for
came from.
Leviathan, it looks like on the minimap they're splitting A, but they're not really. They're making it feel like a full A main push, and then your Jet with Blade Storm is creeping quietly up through double doors. The idea is to disguise the fact, to make the defenders all look towards A main, and hopefully Aspas opens things up. Actually, Aspas just ended up being the distraction.
Already not ult there? Yeah, I thought he was going to ult, honestly. I mean, I think he was just going to go fast onto the spike and create pressure anyway, and then he'd probably find out where they are. But with the scoreline, I think you've got to ult there no matter what. They need like a hero round. I think you got to try and deliver.
It's the trouble when you go up against teams with
VNT Duran, thank you so much. Dude, there's a lot of people that are hitting a year today in terms of the subs. Thank you so much as well,
You just
man.
need the extra element.
Thank you,
Whether
Duran.
it's firepower to shut down those players, because they
Appreciate the
will.
prime usage.
They'll make melons out of you, man. They will force you to make mistakes. And if you make mistakes, of course they're going to capitalize on them.
Yeah.
Did I
think,
enjoy
though,
Gentle Mates
with
against
Leviathan, it's
Vitality?
actually
Dude, I
not
really
even the
enjoyed it. It was a fun
on-paper
game.
Quality of the roster that
I think it was
impressed with recently.
it was probably.
It's the fact that they've come
I mean, it was an
together as a
existence
unit.
masterclass.
in
It
such
really
a
was.
short, a short amount of time. It's a 180, essentially.
Yeah, because, to be
There was
honest,
a lot of anti that went in.
they look
Probably
kinda
probably
crappy
one of the
against
most stacked
Cloud9.
anti we've seen for a
that
while.
match, they were out of it, and the fact that they've managed to come back from that and really retool a lot of what their ideas are, and come in with such a fleshed out strat book on their attack and defense side, very impressive.
Okay, 6 chances to finish this. And the good news for G2 is they got some. I mean, they got some ults. They did save this one. Bad news is they got a sheriff on their duelist who is one away from his ult.
Especially with Tex lurking up halls.
It's a contact play up elbow and halts.
Oh, wait, that was so close to breaking that.
Not clearing either of those trips.
It's intended for the unbreakable one. The trips are pushed a little bit further back. There's no way. Ball's nowhere to run really here. It's a tight corridor.
It's almost a freebie.
It's exactly
Over
necessary
towards
for Trent
B
to
main,
confirm
nothing
that
over
kill.
towards
With
B
Tex
main.
falling,
It's lovely.
G2, you get that advantage here. What a time to do it as well when the weaponry wasn't looking too ideal. But Lever immediately just taking up all the space into mid.
They're making this again feel like they're getting set up for a B hit, while this lurk from Aspas and Com is very disguised. Look at the player archers. They're all looking at the site now, only just now thinking about the mid lurk.
And they've
Wait,
lined up
Com
perfectly
saved
for
him for the
Come on,
first
Aspas.
duel.
They're tearing them to pieces.
Yeah, that
I mean,
was
they
cool.
were using their own high tide against them to get into that top mid angle.
Instant
as well.
reaction, the spike goes over towards A,
Bait
and
switch
Valen is
Valley.
here so
Really just seeking to
early
pluck him
that that's a
apart in
hit.
that mid angle as well, but he's not going to be able to
Well,
get too
good
much
luck
done
to-
now. Still,
good
the
luck
pit
to
will
Jonah
fade away.
P.
Jonah P, they've got to be aware of his
Spectre
position, and now
gets hit by the
definitely so.
recon.
Dart just lights him up. Shock Dart's pushing him back and away. Mazzina with the plant and a pit to play within.
Solid performance from Lev, really. G2 got to feel like they. G2 got to feel like they lost this one though. That pissed around on attack.
Hopping around the place, man. He's seeking an avenue, a kill, anything at all, and he is making it look relatively fancy.
Well, he knows.
Really putting that Spectre to good work. The jumping out and wide, but he doesn't have a rifle for it, and it's such a long sideline damage. Done to Aspas, updraft for the info. High ground angle played, 5 HP to Leaf's name, sticking half, already gained.
Those are really good attempts, man. Give him a better gun, maybe he gets that kill. Yeah, I mean, solid game. G2 gonna feel like they lost this one though, for sure. That first and third round will haunt them a little bit.
The final round, it got chaotic.
Aspas and Tex were outrageous though. Tex especially, really.
Massively impressed with what LEV